Yo, hello. It's been a while since I've streamed on this channel. It doesn't show that I'm live. Socials. Delete that on Discord because that's not the channel. Shouldn't. Whatever. Hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm not streaming on my main channel right now. I do plan on streaming on my main channel today. Kick.com/Phletchy. But yo, what's up, Odd Bubble? I want to stream on my main channel later, but I wanted to play some games. I've been having a gaming itch. I'm actually restream. I'm using Restream, so I'm on X as well. I'm on my secret channel on Kick, and I'm actually streaming on Twitch as well. I know I haven't gone live on my main channel recently, and to be honest, I don't have any content. I don't know what to do. I was gonna go do IRL yesterday, and I was waiting on my girlfriend to come with me, and then she bailed out on me, and then like it was 100 degrees outside, and all there is to do is just kind of walk around. And I was like, do I want to walk around not with nothing to do in 100-degree weather? So I kind of just gave up yesterday. Also, most of the time throughout this week, I've just been really, really tired. Like that weird tired I've been explaining. Like I get enough sleep, right? But for some reason, I'm like too tired to talk. Like I'm too tired to think about going live and talking to chat. I'm just like, dude, I don't have the energy. So that's another reason why I haven't been live on my main channel. It's all stupid reasons. I've really wanted to go live. Like it's kind of killing me and eating me up to not go live on kick.com/Phletchy. I haven't been live on this channel either. This is the first time I've gone live in months on this channel. Yeah, so throughout the week, what I've been doing is I've been kind of downloading some ROMs. Apparently there's an attack on ROMs. The War Against ROMs. I just found this video by Asmongold, so I'm going to watch it here in a second. So it's funny that I just started downloading a bunch of ROMs for nostalgia reasons and an app on iPhone that's really cool. So I wanted to download some ROMs and play some old games. And then the day I started doing it, this started happening. Nintendo started erasing their games off ROM platforms where you can download them. It's so weird that I started doing this at the same time that there was a mass like pool of all the games off the internet by Nintendo. It's just weird. It's just weird. Anyway, if you want to watch me on Kick, it's Epic of Fletcher on Kick. It's my secret channel. It's my super secret channel. Super secret. So secret that I'm telling you about it. But yeah, Epic of Fletcher. It's with an F, not a PH. What do I do? What do I do on Phletchy? Like desktop wise. And when it comes to IRL, there's literally nothing to do. If there was something to do, I'd do it. I'd be like, fuck yeah, there's something to do. Like an event, like a festival, or a lot of people downtown. But like the scavenger hunt was so fucking nice. Because the scavenger hunt, I didn't think about streaming at all. I just was like doing the scavenger hunt with a camera attached to me, and I was just looking at my chat the whole time. But my focus was on the scavenger hunt. I wasn't thinking about streaming. I could have streamed like 14 hours a day, and it wouldn't even have felt like an hour. Like, it was super easy to do because there was something going on. There was something to keep me focused, and all I had to do was read chat. It was so easy. But whenever there's nothing to do and you just want to do like a random IRL stream, it kind of gets to me a little bit because I'm like, I gotta, especially now that like I'm getting 35 to 50 viewers, I'm like, okay, well now I really have to do something, right? Like I got people counting on me to entertain them, and I'm like, but what do I do? I don't know. I just think I got to get used to it, I guess. A lot of it's kind of a lot of weight on me right now. It's a lot of weight on my shoulders to go live. Like, what do I do? Why is this so hard all of a sudden? It wasn't hard before the scavenger hunt. Before the scavenger hunt, I went live almost every day. Now it's like, what do I do? What do I do now? You know, I was just watching kick clips, but everyone watches kick clips. I kind of feel stupid if I just sit at my computer watching kick clips, especially when I already watched kick clips live stream the same video. Super weird. So, I mean, I could make Suno music, I guess. I haven't really used it that much, to be honest. I kind of been focusing more on streaming. James, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I still make it. I still post it, but I was getting to the point where I actually haven't really been focusing on the AI stuff too much. I've been kind of been focusing on my kick stream and IRL, and now I'm doing gaming today on this channel. But I do love Claude. Claude is my favorite AI right now, even though I still use ChatGPT a lot because, let me tell you something about ChatGPT that I just started to use it a lot more for. Finding things I want to buy. Like, I went on a trip to Florida, and I didn't have luggage. I needed a carry-on, right? I wanted a bag that I could carry on. So I asked ChatGPT, what is the best carry-on bag? And it told me a list of bags. The first one was like a Peak Design, of course. They make great stuff, but Peak Design was out of my budget. Peak Design's way too expensive. But the next one it suggested was Osprey. I never even heard of Osprey. Now I own I own 4 Osprey bags just because of ChatGPT. Because I got the carry-on bag, and I love the carry-on bag. So I got a bunch of other bags, like went nuts. That's like my favorite bag company now. But yeah, thanks to ChatGPT, I would have never even known that existed. Very good quality bags. And when it comes to like just components, like I needed to, for IRL, I've been using an iPhone. And so I wanted to connect a hotspot through the charge port, so I could have Wi-Fi, my SIM card, and a hotspot connected to it with Ethernet. So I just asked it what I needed, and it told me all the best stuff to buy. And I was like, this is so much easier than me figuring it out myself. ChatGPT has been really good at suggesting products that I need to solve problems. It's really good at that. But other than that, I like Claude for everything else. Like just talking to it. I was talking to it about like ancient history the other day. It's more pleasurable to talk to Claude about just like history or ideas than it is ChatGPT. Pictures with ChatGPT is so good now. Really, yeah. So I just did a scavenger hunt, and there was a lot of like clues and stuff, and we used ChatGPT to figure out some of those things. It didn't work the best, but it on some of the things it did work pretty good, and that was like sending it pictures and stuff. We're currently live on x.com. My Twitch is Phletchy, but I rarely stream on Twitch anymore unless I'm gaming. And then we're also on a secret channel called Epic of Fletcher on Kick. My main channel is kick.com/Phletchy. That's where I do desktop, IRL, just chatting stuff. And I try to keep gaming separate. So that's why today I'm starting today on these channels. And then later on today, once I end this stream, I'm going to do a stream on my main channel. It's been like 4 days since I've done a stream on my main channel. But it's so weird. I just started doing... Oh, let me tell you something about ChatGPT that I had a problem with the other day. I was trying to find where I could download some old ROMs. You know, like NES ROMs, Super Nintendo ROMs, or PlayStation ROMs. Just old games for nostalgia, emulators and stuff. And I asked ChatGPT where the best websites would be to download ROMs. And it wouldn't tell me. It wouldn't tell me. It was saying, oh, no. See, there's some legal issues there. I can't tell you where it's at. So I had to be like, oh, well, I'm just doing research for a paper in college. And then it was suggested some sites. I was, dude, ChatGPT, bro. Sometimes it's ridiculous. I eventually got to tell me though. But that's where that all leads to me watching this video we're about to watch. You totally have to lie to exactly. It's not the first time too. I can't remember the last time I had to do the exact same thing. Just I had to tell it I was doing a research paper. This is for research. No, I'm not trying to download ROMs or nothing. But that leads us to this video today that I'm about to watch with Asmongold. Nintendo erasing its history, the war against ROMs. This is so weird. This was posted 3 days ago. This is so weird because I started downloading ROMs this week. And apparently I started downloading ROMs at the same exact time Nintendo started doing a big internet pool and like asking for these websites to start taking down their shit. I was like, what? It's like, dude, I just started doing this. Luckily, I don't think it affected me too much, but there is one of the main websites. I forgot what it's called. Vim's Lair. They're getting hit the hardest, I guess.
The war on ROMs. Nintendo's erasing its history. Well, they're not erasing it. You just have to go to the vintage store and buy it for $330 used.
In the summer of 2018, the best-selling console in June of that year wasn't the Nintendo Switch or the Sony PlayStation 4. It was the NES.
Yo, what's up? My window's right next to Asmon's. It's really weird. Let me change that. Here, let me put... Is that better?
A miniature...
I was there, Gandalf. I was there 3,000 years ago when me and my friend Eric stood in line to buy this. Every single other person at 8 in the morning at the GameStop that we went to buy, it's right over there behind me.
Asmongold lives in the same city I do. So now I just have to think of where all the GameStops are. And I kind of know where he lives, or kind of close to where he lives. It doesn't matter. I'm just like, I always wondered where Asmon lives. I know he's got a little tree house in the backyard. So I know he lives like in a wooded area, there's tons of wooded areas in Austin. So
every single one of them was 30 years old.
I've never met him though. Never ran into him.
And you could see
he probably doesn't leave his house much.
Half of them, it was a rainy day too. And like half of them had like their wives or girlfriends in the car. Like, meanwhile, the guy was in there talking to the other guys like, oh, yeah, dude. So you're going to play this one? You remember this game? Bro, I used to be so good at this one. Oh, God, this is going to be so good. Yeah, it was so fucking funny. I was there. It was awesome. In the 40s for 50s
version
now?
of the
Almost.
NES that cost $60 and came with 30 classic NES titles. And it sold well.
You know, I would probably pay $200 if Nintendo would put out a console with the entire collection on it. But that wouldn't work though, because not all these games are made by Nintendo, you know? Like, you know, there's like Capcom and Sega and stuff like that. Well, actually, is Sega have games on Nintendo? They probably do. But, you know, like, that's the problem.
So well,
actually, I had the
that
Super Nintendo one.
underestimated the demand. The NES Classic was frequently sold out, and resellers took advantage of the FOMO from those who weren't able to get one. The NES Classic underneath the covers is...
Also, I don't want to pay $30 for an upgraded remake of like a classic game. Like they have a bunch of those. Like if for my phone, I saw this on my phone the other day. It's like a repixelated Final Fantasy collection, and it depends on where you buy it. It's like $60 to $70. That's crazy. And it's like all new pixelation, like it's like redone games, the same game, but it's like redone graphically and stuff. But it's just not. That's not worth it to me.
It's nothing more than a low-powered
I'm gonna pay that much
device
money for all
that
those
runs
games.
an in-house Nintendo.
Which, by the way,
They should be like $5. Well, they coded. Well, maybe not. So yeah, okay, James, I totally agree with you. It's like a nostalgia thing because most old games are actually kind of ridiculous to play. Like I grew up mostly with the Nintendo 64. I had an NES and a Super NES. I love Super NES. Super NES games are pretty good still. NES games it depends. You know, like Mario's fine. But there's a lot of trash ones. What's another one I really like? Mega Man. Mega Man's really good on NES still. But Super Nintendo has a lot better games that you can still play today and it's okay. But a lot of Nintendo 64 games, the controls and the cameras and stuff just kind of wonky, and it makes it hard to play. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. There you go. That's one of Joe Rogan's favorite games still today.
This is what we all want. Nintendo, if you're listening, we want this. We want you to sell us nostalgia boxes that have all the games.
Oh, dude, this happens so much lately. I say something, and then the second I start the video, the person says the exact same thing I was already saying.
Games that we grew up playing. We want to give you money. We want to do this. Like last time.
Yeah, like I said, I don't care if I have to pay for legit classic games. I just don't want to pay insane amounts of money for it. Like I don't want to pay insane amounts of money. If I could, it's $60, like $1 or $70, whatever price of a normal game is today. If I could pay $60 to have all of it, I'd totally do that. I wouldn't download ROMs off the internet and risk like that legal shit.
You asked for money for this, we gave it to you. Let us do it again.
Oh, and I'd be able to play those online, right? Like on Twitch. I'm pretty sure on Twitch you can't play Nintendo games that you download. Like you have to own the game, and even then, I think Nintendo can be weird.
Stop making us buy a fucking Game Boy Advance game for $170. Nobody's gonna do it. We're gonna fucking pirate it. That's just what's gonna happen. And you get mad about it, go ahead. But like, if you sell it to us for $30, well, I'll give you $30. It's better than zero, right? Come on, what are you doing?
Emulator and ROMs. Nintendo would follow this up with the Super NES.
Back in 2004, I had an Xbox. It had a clear chassis. The chassis was see-through. It was clear, and I had a little LCD screen on it. I don't know. It just like had stats on it. It was kind of stupid, but I put it on there because I thought it was cool. And I had a person mod the box and put a hard drive in it with every single NES, Super NES games. I think there was a couple of Xbox games on it too. I think it had like Halo on it. So you didn't have to have the disc in it. You could just run Halo off the hard drive, which loaded faster and stuff like that. So that was cool, but I don't have that box anymore. Well, I still have the box. I don't have the hard drive in it. So all those games are lost. So I don't have that anymore. But I do have the modded box still. It just needs a hard drive and software. I don't even know where you'd get that because it's old.
Classic, which was just as successful, and just like any other mini console at the time.
I'll go get it.
They do have this. They do have this thing. I've thought about getting it before. The little mini consoles that have a handful of games on it compared to the library. Oh, it has Castlevania on it. That's not bad. I've never played Castlevania, but I think I would like it.
Yeah, I was talking to Eric the other day, and man, bro, like, it's right here. We bought this on the day it came out.
I think my favorite game for Super Nintendo is a game called Illusions of Gaia. I really like that game. That game was fun. And I played that on my modded Xbox.
We got the box. He knows where it is. Of course I do.
2005,
He's got all
maybe?
the games, everything like that. Yep. There it is. Yep. Have you played it? I did. I played it. We went over to his house. I even recorded the whole day
Yeah, it's
that
an
we had
RPG,
together.
right?
Like him picking me up, us driving over there. We hung out at his house all day. We played the games. I recorded the whole thing. I just never put it on YouTube.
It would be quickly hacked to run just about any emulator and ROM that you wanted.
That's funny.
In July 18 of the same year as the NES Classic, Nintendo would file a lawsuit against the operator of a popular console.
Oh, I got this. This is cool. I got these. I bought this controller, and this has a mount on it for your phone, so I can attach my phone to that controller. And this is the same brand, but for some reason the mount won't fix. But this is like a classic, you know, PlayStation controller, but it has the look of like an NES controller. I love these so much. These are the best control. Thanks to ChatGPT recommended these, by the way. I asked ChatGPT what the best Bluetooth controllers for iPhone would be. Recommended these. I love these. These are so good. Thank you, ChatGPT. That's the other one I was thinking though.
ROM site known as loveroms.com.
Yeah.
According to Nintendo, the sites
Didn't
are
you,
among the most
never mind.
notorious online hubs for pirated games. And just 3 days
Wouldn't
later,
be the case if you let
You
us
said
buy
dope
'em.
ROMs,
Just let us
okay.
buy 'em, Nintendo. Come on.
Love ROMs was shut down. MB Paradise, out of fear of being
Okay.
targeted by Nintendo, also ceased providing ROMs on their website.
I think this is a Gabe situation where he was totally right about piracy being a service issue. Steam provides such a great service with like the cloud storage that I want to use Steam and I appreciate Steam. Spotify got me to stop pirating music because it just provides a much better service that's more reliable. Nintendo. All I want is I want to be able to buy the games for a small fee, especially the old games, or buy them in a bundle.
If it's the original ROM, or I don't even know what you call it, the like original game, the original game files, no updatedness, like just the original, the way it is, and it's just emulated on a new system that an emulator or whatever that Nintendo makes. Yeah, I would buy that, but I would only buy that for very, very cheap. If there's no update to any of it, no like graphical update, still like a square. Now, if you made it widescreen and like made it 4K and upgraded the graphics a little bit so the lines are finer, okay, maybe I'd pay a little more. But I mean, we're talking if we have to buy the whole collection over again, I'm talking about it should be like $1 a game. Because there's like thousands. To get all the games, it costs thousands of dollars still. Because I don't remember how many games there are, but it's probably 1,000.
Or something like that, and then be able to access them or download them locally to a Game Boy, a Nintendo Switch, or a home console. That's all I want. If you do that, everybody will give you money.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with Nintendo. You know, I don't know like their thought process of why to like gatekeep all the nostalgic games. I don't know why. You know, they're a Japanese company, so I don't really know what goes on in that headquarters that would make them not want to do anything like that. I think about that sometimes.
Problem solved.
It's to us, it's logical, but I don't know.
It's literally, I want that for the cloud storage. I don't want to have to play a ROM.
Oh yeah, that makes sense too. That would be so sick if you could just load it on a console or a phone or a handheld, and you don't even have to download the game. That would be cool. Like cloud, you could play cloud versions of the. Oh, that would be awesome. That's a great idea.
Because like there could be problems with it or something like that. I want the Nintendo quality, and I would pay money for that. And I can't do it. It's so stupid.
I feel the same way about PlayStation games too. PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. Xbox 360. You know, if you don't make the console anymore, and you can't get the console anymore, then we need to figure out a way that you can still play the games. I don't know why that's not a thing.
Cloud storage?
July of 2019, Nintendo went scorched earth on another popular ROM sharing site known as ROM
So
Universe.
Nintendo hates their customers?
Stating the
There's a
company
communication
alleges
problem.
ROM Universe is built largely
Communication
on
problem.
brazen and mass
Is it a language barrier?
scale infringement. It was shut down shortly after.
That's true. I think that a lot of people use ROMs to copyright infringe the games.
Huh?
That's true, but also like think about why.
I have to think about that for a second. Copyright infringe the games. They download ROMs to like copy them and like make their own game.
That's happening. That's happening because people want to play them. So figure out a way to get people to play them. Because like really, like if you're buying a one of these old games from like a vintage shop, Nintendo doesn't make any of that money. The shop does.
Oh yeah, true.
So like Nintendo's not really losing out on a sale.
No, they're not.
Because they're not providing the product to be sold in the first place.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense.
And fast forward to today.
I don't watch Asmongold that much, but every time I see one of these videos, we tend to always agree on everything. It's kind of
Vim's
weird.
Lair is the latest in a string of high-profile ROM sites that have been a target of Nintendo and their quest to eradicate
It's been
illegal
going on for
ROMs
a
and
while.
piracy. In the case of Vim's Lair, Nintendo, along with Sega, Lego, and a group of companies who formed the ESA, was responsible.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to be very clear that
Ooh,
Nintendo
this is
does have
the one.
every right to protect what's theirs, and ROM sites do indeed host.
Well,
a
there's
list-
two
Heading to work.
different
Good luck with the
things.
stream.
There's,
Yo, thank you
does
so much,
Nintendo
James. Hope you have a
the
good day
right
at
to do
work.
it? The answer is yes. Would it be better if Nintendo could see
I'll be live on kick.com/Phletchy later, and I'll just be doing normal, just chatting stuff, not gaming stuff.
the perspective of customers and figure out why it's happening and provide an alternative that we could pay for as well? Yes. So it's like, yes, I understand Nintendo has to do this, but I wish Nintendo understood why people are doing it. Because if they solve it's like you're solving a symptom and not the disease. The disease is the fact that there's no distribution for these games that's good. The symptom is piracy. Piracy would go down by like 90%, even from where it's at now, if you could just buy them and play them on a cloud device or on your Nintendo Switch and have a Nintendo account the same as Steam. Like, I would immediately swap over to that.
ROMs. But it's in my opinion that Nintendo is causing irreparable damage to a community that's almost single-handedly kept game preservation efforts alive for decades. And we're going to talk about why I'm genuinely concerned
where you fight
about the
a
future
Ghana?
of video game preservation after a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by
Delete Me.
As someone who works in the video game industry
Can we,
and
Asmon? Can you skip the ad?
my privacy is extremely important, and sometimes I feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. Last year,
It
I got
is.
an email from
It's really
what
bad.
appeared to be a YouTube representative.
The
At the
same
time was how these scammers were able to get my information so easily. Well, it's all thanks to identifiable information. Literally hundreds, maybe
Never.
on the internet. Now,
That's
you
how
have
they
the
do
right
it.
to stay private and protect your
Are
personal
we commenting on the
data.
ad now? What's happening?
Subscription service
Never
that
sign
will
up for
scrub the
anything.
internet for you and
Never sign up for anything. Okay.
remove your personal data from hundreds of these data broker websites. Now, I've been using the service for the past few weeks.
I do hate signing up for things. When I got into AI, I had to sign up for so many things to try it all, and I'm like, "No, this is sketchy, dude."
And so far, I'm
Now
really
apparently ChatGPT and OpenAI is sketchy. I don't know what's happening, but I can't imagine not using ChatGPT. I can't imagine not using it. It's such a good search engine.
happy with the results. Now,
The
once
hot girl is just baiting you for you to meet her somewhere, and then she's gonna drug you, and they're gonna
receive after
It's a long ad.
personal information. So what are you waiting for? Get 20% off Delete Me.
All right, come on.
MVG, code MVG at checkout. Nintendo has a well-documented stance against emulation and ROMs. In 1999, when
Hell, I kind of feel I don't even know if I'm going to play video games now. I kind of feel like just going live on my main channel. I just, you know what I needed to do, chat? I needed to go live on a channel that I know I wasn't going to get a lot of viewers on and like practice talking again and get in that mood. I think that's kind of what's been bothering me. Now that I kind of warmed up, I feel like I can go live on my main channel and talk to the chat.
well-documented stance against their community.
the first public Nintendo 64 emulator release,
Let's be honest.
they called emulation illegal. But after it was tried in court and emulators were found to actually be legal, Nintendo changed their strategy. If they can't take down the emulators, then why not go after the sites that host the ROMs? Now you might be thinking to yourself, MVG, Nintendo just took down Yuzu. That's an emulator, so what are you talking about? Nintendo did shut down Yuzu. However, the DMCA law was never tried in court. Yuzu took an L to keep emulation legal, which I think everyone
Because they took an L because they knew that they were acting in bad faith. They were monetizing a hack of Tears of the Kingdom, and they were doing it, and you could only get it through their Patreon. They knew that if they went to court, they would lose, like, they put a few zeros behind that number.
Oh, yeah, that's not okay. So I don't like that because that ruins like the whole vibe of people just wanting to play nostalgic games. I'm totally for it. 100%. I think you should be allowed to play the games. You should be allowed to play games that you played when you were a kid. You should be allowed to listen to music that you listened to when you were a kid. Without an insane like paywall or anything.
That's why they lost.
agree was the right thing to do. But let's
how about this? Spotify. What is it? $15, $16 a month, something like that. They just went up $1 or whatever. I can listen to all the music that I've ever listened to in my life. What if I paid $12 a month for Nintendo? Oh, man, this gets weird because I want to be able to play all the games that I played on Nintendo, not just the ones made by Nintendo.
Knew what
Back
they
to
were
ROMs,
doing.
which
Absolutely.
is the main topic of this video. I mentioned that Nintendo has every right as the copyright holder to remove what belongs to them. But did you notice
This
that
is the original
Nintendo
F-Zero.
is pushing for the removal of the entire sites, threatening the preservation of ROMs that don't even belong to them? But MVG, what about archive.org, I hear you ask? That's never going to go away. Let's stop and discuss archive.org for a moment.
Chat, I just
And
realized
I do
something.
agree that with the loss of Love ROMs, Vim's Lair, and other sites, as long as archive.org exists,
My
then
bitrate's too high.
everything will be
Oh,
fine.
damn it. My
But
bitrate's
it's
too
really
high
not
for
the case.
Twitch.
First of all, let's talk
I
about
could
why
get in trouble for
Nintendo
this.
hasn't gone
Damn, I
after
just-
archive.org in the same way as they have with the other sites. Well, it's because archive.org
Oh,
has a
that's not good.
DMCA exemption to help with the archival of vintage software. It's vital to make proper archival copies of these artifacts. The problem with this exemption is it's not forever. Every 3 years, the Copyright Office holds a rulemaking proceeding to determine
Damn
the
it.
exemption status.
I can't change
And for
my,
example, if one year
bitrate
they rule
live.
against the DMCA exemption, the site is then exposed to the same takedowns as any other ROM
All right,
site.
I'm going to watch
And
this
I
video
want
and
you
end the
guys to
stream
keep
then.
in mind that the reason
Hopefully
why
Twitch-
this is happening,
Twitch, I'm sorry.
Nintendo isn't doing
I'm sorry
this.
about
the government
such a high
is doing
bitrate.
it.
I was streaming somewhere
It would
else
be
where I was
great
allowed
if
to have
we
a higher
had
bitrate.
laws that actually gave consumers legitimate rights to products that they purchase. But it's the government that's actually doing this. Nintendo doesn't shut down the website. The government does.
Simple as that. Nothing lasts forever, except for the ridiculous copyright laws when it comes to video games. And if you didn't know, here in the United States, video game copyright lasts for the entire
remember
life
this
of the
game,
creator,
but I don't know what it
plus
was.
an additional 70 years. And Nintendo themselves have been outspoken opposing the DMCA exemption on archive.org. If and when
Gladius?
there is a
Okay.
reversal of the DMCA exemption, Nintendo will be the first company to strike.
Yeah.
No, see, it's games like this, Star Wars Galaxies. Like, Star Wars Galaxy no longer exists. The servers it's a dead game. Servers are gone. But since you gave up on people being able to play this game, like you just like totally just buried it underground so nobody could ever have it again legally. But why not let people fire up servers and let people play if they want to? Why not? If
So
you're
what can
if
we
you're just
do
gonna
about
kill it,
this? ROM sites are illegal, but can we dump our own games? Is it even legal to do that? I'm not a lawyer, but my understanding of dumping is that it's perfectly legal to dump your own games as long as you're not circumventing any protection measures as stated by the DMCA. In general, what this means is that anything up to around the 6th generation of game consoles
Yeah.
would be perfectly legal to make backups of. Anything beyond that is a grey area. But for this discussion, let's just assume that all ROMs can be dumped by individuals who own originals, and it's perfectly legal to do that. So, if it's okay to download and use an emulator and dump your own games, then what's the problem? Preservation lives on. After all, I'm making a legal backup of my games. The problem is, Have you ever tried to dump a NES, Super NES, Genesis, or old game cartridge? It's not an easy thing to do. You need some type of dumping hardware like this thing
Yeah,
here.
I've never even seen this
is
before.
The Retro 2. It can dump SNES and Genesis ROMs, and I even have an adapter for N64 and Game Boy. The problem is, these aren't readily available. They're almost
Gemini.
I actually thought I could change the amount of bitrate that I send to different places. Guess I'm wrong. Yeah, I need to be able to do that.
I had this one.
When you need one. And have you tried dumping NES game cartridges? I've tried a few different dumpers, and all of them are terrible. The best option is to use a dumping tool with the analog NT Mini, which isn't made anymore. And back in the old days, way before
I just don't want to have to do any of this shit. Like, I want them to just provide the games for a reasonable fee that you can buy as a one-time purchase and then play the game whenever you want. Like, why?
Yeah, why's my computer hard drive making so much noise? Because I'm not doing anything. Anyway, yeah, I totally agree. I think I would, if they came out with something like that, I would buy it. Even though I don't need to. I would buy it to support the right move. To doing the right thing.
Why this is like we're jumping through all these hoops. It's like the Olympics for the most simple.
Honestly, wouldn't the best thing to do would just to let people do whatever they want with old stuff that's just kind of disappearing off the face of the planet. Let people keep it. Let people do whatever they want with it. But no company's ever going to do that. So a little charge, a little fee for it. I'd support that.
Simple and obvious thing to happen. Like, I don't get it.
Dumping tools, disc and cartridge copiers were all the rage. Now, I've used disc copiers on the channel before. These devices were also successfully blocked in US courts as illegal. Now, of course, it was still very possible to import them via Hong Kong electronic stores such as Lexan.
Aladdin's a good game.
You start to see the frustration. Disc-based games like the Dreamcast, OG Xbox, and GameCube aren't really much better either. You can use either a specific drive with a hacked firmware, or you can use a hacked console. It shouldn't be this complicated to make backups of your own games, and yet it is.
It used to not be like this, by the way. Like, Red Alert 1, you could just copy one-to-one. There was, like, no restriction or no problem at all.
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't ask me how I know that.
Everything to Nintendo. After all, they did successfully...
There's a lot of games. Yeah, even PlayStation games. You can just save them and burn the disc.
Launched the Virtual Console on the Wii, Wii U, and recently the NSO service on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, they do have this, but look. $10 for 1080 snowboarding? $10? Yo, this game looks like shit. But I nostalgia reasons, I would play it because I used to play it a lot when I was a kid. But it doesn't look good. It's definitely not worth $10.
They have a very long history of providing backward compatibility options for hardware going as far back as the Game Boy Color. Nintendo can't be trusted. The Virtual Console on the Wii was a very good service they provided.
It's a Super Mario for Game Boy, I think.
There was a total of 427 Virtual Console titles available on the service in North America.
But that said, are they updated graphics and frame rate and stuff? That I'm not sure. I still wouldn't pay $10 for an upgraded graphic and frame rate. I think they should still be dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. And I think they should upgrade the performance of the games too.
And in 2019, the Wii U online service.
I'm asking for a lot, aren't I?
Yeah, so let's move over to the Wii
Am I
U.
asking for too much? That sounds like a lot of work for a company to pull off, actually, but still.
Many games had to be ported to the Wii U version.
That's why I think a subscription might be better. I'd rather pay $12 a month and have all the games 60 FPS, do upgraded graphics so the lines are better, and it's not like super pixelated like it's ran on the old consoles, but like clean looking. I'd definitely do that.
There's a total of 318 titles available in North America. That's a pretty significant reduction. And of course, as we know,
I also think the pricing is way too high. Like, asking that much money for like an old game like that, it's just not congruent with what the industry and the customer expectations are. It's just
I'm basically Asman. I just don't talk like Asman.
The Wii U store was also closed. But of course, Now we come to the
insane,
Nintendo
yeah.
Switch Online service, which is the service-based Netflix-style model Nintendo has always wanted to provide. And the smart money suggests that Nintendo will transfer over the NSO with your
I had so many
Nintendo
of
account
these.
to future Nintendo hardware, including the Switch 2. This, of course, is a good move. As of the making of this video, there's only a paltry 275 titles available on the NSO service, and we only get a very small drip feed of new games every single month. I remember back in the days of the Wii Virtual Console, we were getting games every single week.
By the way, little aside, in the year 1990, this game was Elden Ring. I don't think I can overstate how big this game was and how much of like a crazy, like, fucking paradigm shift this game was. This was nuts.
Yeah, when it comes to the Mario franchise, the early ones, dude, everyone played them, and they're still playable today, and they're still fun, and it doesn't feel any different. They just like timeless games.
The Nintendo Switch has sold over.
It's not like a game that's like, oh well, no, these controls don't make sense anymore. These camera angles don't make sense anymore. It's like
55 million units. But
I mean, they still make brand new platformers. So.
Nintendo is all but
bigger than Elden
doing
Ring?
the absolute minimum
Yeah.
to offer retro
Remember the
games
movie
to
The
their
Wizard?
customers. The
Remember
number of old classic games Nintendo is providing on their hardware services is shrinking with every single generation. And
Alright.
you probably noticed that every
I need to
single
go live
month
on my main
people are
channel.
asking
Let's
for
get
games
this
like
video over
Chrono
with.
Trigger
I guess
or
I'm not gonna play
Secret
games.
and more
Maybe I'll go
service.
live on
How
my
many
main channel, and
years
then
will people
I'll do
need to
games
wait
after.
before they show up.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll be back.
There's no guarantee that
In other words.
anything will ever appear on the NSO. As someone who does work on
I
commercial
suddenly
emulation
don't wanna play
projects,
games
I can
anymore.
tell you categorically that many publishers see value in partnering with companies like Limited Run or Digital Eclipse to help bring back their back catalog. The reality
This game was fun too. I played this a lot. I remember playing this game and watching Scream. My buddy came over. We played this game a lot, and we also rented Scream.
is Nintendo's
Yeah,
virtual
it just
original
adds
one.
value to the customer. It's not even a question.
line is just another revenue
From Blockbuster.
stream for Nintendo's bottom line. The emulation quality, while decent enough,
Yeah.
doesn't hold a candle to community-developed efforts that run on their own
I
hardware.
have all my original games, by the way. I have my original consoles. I have my original games. As far as I know, all of it works. At least the last time I tested it, all of it works. I have my original NES. Works. Like everything works. But it's in the attic of my parents' house, and there's been hurricanes that smashed through the ceiling, so I actually don't know if anything was damaged or not.
The emulators at the home
Also, it's like probably 200 degrees in that attic during the summer, so I actually don't know if any of it works.
community built on the Wii, Wii U, 3DS, and the Nintendo Switch are far superior to anything that Nintendo has ever provided.
Again, service issue. Why is that it should not be like that. There's no reason it should
The
be like
community
this.
who downloads ROMs shouldn't all be labeled as filthy pirates who
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense.
deserve
You know,
what's
I never
coming to
played
them.
Super
It's
Metroid.
the resellers
Me neither.
who attempt to profit from them that really should be targeted. If Nintendo really cared about ROMs, they'd be taking down every single seller
serious.
on Amazon who's selling knockoff handhelds with 10,000 games on them. I
Oh, is that real?
can
Yeah.
literally buy one right now
I seen those on Amazon, but I just didn't. I didn't think they were real.
and get it delivered tomorrow. And if it wasn't for ROMs, fan translations would not exist. And this is something that people pour their hearts and souls into
Oh, like Japanese versions that are translated. Okay.
provide localization efforts to games that were never released in that particular country. But it doesn't even stop there. Things like full color translations, widescreen mods, ROM
Can you guys
hacking,
imagine
Widescreen mods, dude. That's what's up.
how much bigger Nintendo would be here in America if they actually had a guy that really understood the like Western culture?
See, that's kind of what I was saying. It's like what I said at the very beginning of the video. It's like, dude, it's a Japanese company. I don't know what the difference is here, but obviously us have a different feeling about this stuff. And it's probably cultural.
Dude, it would be bigger than like Xbox and PlayStation put together times like 5. I don't know, man. Reggie? I mean,
Somebody in chat said dinosaur. Nintendo's a dinosaur, barely surviving. I kind of feel the same way sometimes. I'm like, how does Nintendo surviving? Like, no one actually. Like, it's not like Call of Duty. But the thing about Call of Duty is you can play it on PC, Xbox, PlayStation. You can probably play it on. I think you could play it on Switch too. You can play it on your phone. Like,
liked Reggie. I thought Reggie was cool, but like I don't really know what he did.
Built out of completely new games, updating and adding quality of life features, even building remakes of games.
So this looks so good. See, this is what I'm talking about. The fine lines, less pixelated, wider screen.
Yeah.
Anytime a remaster is announced, people ask what quality of life features.
Yeah, this is amazing. The quality on this is great.
If ROMs didn't exist, that would
we
be
go
a
again.
big fat zero.
Is that a
and
ROM?
I'll fill you in on a secret. Commercial
mod.
retro game collections I've been involved with, we frequently work with ROM hacking experts in the community. Everyone does who works on retro collections. Experts in reverse engineering, ROM hacking, and localization efforts are essential to bringing back old games to modern times.
Yep.
The FPGA community just saw the release of the N64 Mr. Core, an incredible piece of work that will surely benefit N64 hardware preservation, but it still requires ROMs to play. It's easy to say that the internet is vast and ROMs will never be eradicated, but the reality is every high-profile ROM site that's shut down, it's a blow to preservation. We can't trust.
That's how I feel too. It's kind of concerning. Like, if Nintendo had their way, the future generations would never know these games existed, or never seen anyone play them, or never play them.
Nintendo or the ESA to be in charge of preservation efforts. They've failed in doing so time and time again. Their motives aren't to preserve, rather to control. They make it clear.
He makes a good point there. He makes a really good point. Yeah, they're not trying to preserve the games. They're just trying to control what people are doing. Absolutely.
Wait, so the logic behind that is they want people to play new games, not old games. That's the control. Is that what am I picking that up? Am I picking up what he's putting down the right way? If people are playing Mario nonstop, then people aren't playing whatever the hell's new. I don't even know what's new, but whatever the Switch games.
Absolutely.
They will go after any ROM site that gets in their crosshairs.
Testing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Vim's Lair, this was kind of moronic TikTokers who were playing Pokemon on their iPhones via the Delta emulator, thinking that it was cool, which clearly got the attention of the ESA. If Nintendo was serious about their history, they'd provide their entire library of ROMs on a service.
Yep.
This could be either a rental or a purchase and run on any legal emulator on your PC. I know it sounds
Or it could, imagine this, run on the fucking Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I would buy a Switch. No joke, I would buy a Switch. I'd buy a Switch if they had every game. And not one just made by Nintendo, the whole collection. Every game. I don't even own a Switch.
Oh, what?
crazy, but think about it. If Nintendo set up their own Vim's Lair, which had checks and balances, people would buy those ROMs.
How are they not doing? I don't understand. How are they not doing this?
How are they not doing it? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Translations and ROM hacks should not be punished. These talented people are what the industry needs.
It's
right
just
now.
like none of this makes any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense.
Many ROM hackers and modders
kind of wild
got
and
their
weird.
start in the industry from their hobbyist work, and it would be a shame to see all that disappear. But these are just one man's thoughts and opinions.
I don't
and
understand
I do know
it
that
at
this
all.
topic is polarizing for many of you. So if you did make it to the end of this episode, I do thank you for listening. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I understand that a lot of people don't like emulation and ROMs, and a lot of people obviously do. But I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. But we are going to leave it here for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please don't forget to leave me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye for now.
What a good fucking video. It's crazy how, like, everybody knows what Nintendo has to do except for Nintendo.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
everybody on the internet is collectively... everybody understands this except them. It's insane. There's the video, by the way. Like, this guy, he makes a lot of really good retro gaming videos. I've watched them. Probably watched like 20 of his videos. Ryan, maybe not that many, but like I've watched a lot of them. I agree with everything he's saying. I think Nintendo's erasing, and the thing is, they're erasing their own history. It's like you have to keep in mind that everybody who's like ROMing your game and everything, they're doing that because they love your game. They want to play your game. And like I can't speak for anybody other than myself, but like I want to support Nintendo. I want to be a Nintendo simp. But they make it so hard. Why are you doing this? I don't get it. Yeah, like just let me buy the game. Let me just play the game. Like, why can't you just have an adapter that you can plug into it?
All right, chat. I actually have to go. I've been streaming on Twitch and X far too big of a bit rate for too long. I don't want to get in trouble, so I have to end the stream now. I'm going to go stream on kick.com/Phletchy. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do, but that's where I'll be. All right, I'll be back later when I get that gaming itch again. All right, bye. Thank you guys for watching and following and all that stuff. Hope you have a good day. Happy Father's Day.